Hello everyone, welcome back to Blooms and Bicycles. Hope you enjoyed the rest of Christmas and making those New Year's resolutions. Setting off on a bicycle commute in the early hours of a January morning, we find ourselves venturing under black velvet skies. In these moments it's impossible not to look up and admire the veil of white lunar light accessorised by the iridescent twinkles of Venus amongst the stars. The wonder of these moments always puts into perspective how, whilst passing through, we are just one component and consequence of a much bigger design influenced by everything that's ever managed to come into existence in this universe, including the stunning array of species that Mother Nature surrounds us all with. We are also then reminded of how the Lunar New Year celebrations, which lie just around the corner now, become the perfect opportunity to celebrate life and also to take stock of all the wonderful things that make an existence on this earth so special. In anticipation of these celebrations, splashes of bright reds and golds are now emblazoned across our cities and towns in the form of Chinese silk lanterns. And taking inspiration from these, along with the flowers that heavily feature in oriental art, from silk screens to the mahogany furniture that so often features in our Chinatowns across the world, we are bringing to you today an eclectic mix of oriental stems traditionally known as flowers of China, in what we have decided to call the Lunar New Year Flower Collection. In the introduction of this video today, we've decided to show you how the flowers look when fully in bloom, so you can understand how all of the colours combine in this flower collection. However, we're going to show you how to construct the designs using the stems whilst they're in bud form, because this in reality is how they will arrive to you in the post. In this letterbox collection today, we'll be sharing with you how to construct the medium Lunar New Year letterbox flowers. Today our vase is already prepared with the water and the flower feed. However, if you would like to know what to do to look after your flowers to make them last as long as possible, you can always refer to our flower care video, which you can find the link to in the description box below. So let's get started then. To begin with, we'll start by creating our grid, and we'll do so using the strongest of stems, which in this collection are the lucky bamboo, which we couldn't not put in, this peach blossom, again so symbolic, and the pussy willow to offer splashes of the mahogany colour. And then to create some graduation from the mahogany into further stems to come, particularly the Calla Lilies, this beautiful Anigozanthos starts in this crimson red with the flower head at the top, and before graduating into a green shoot at the bottom, takes on something of a maroony shade, which is very similar to the stem of the pussy willow and the blossom. So we'll just hold up our bamboo to our vase to see how much to cut away. And before we do this, you'll see there's a lot of roots at the bottom here. That's because it will pretty much grow anywhere. So if you would like to make a cutting, if you will, of the stem that comes to you in this design, you could always put it in a pot and you're pretty much guaranteed it will grow, because it will grow anywhere. Although on that note, just to say, maybe just to hold off from actually planting it directly into the ground in your garden, just in case it ended up taking over any of the other plants that you have. So we've just added our Anigozanthos there, and you can always dot the stems of pussy willow and blossom randomly around the design, or you can keep them as a cluster like this, and just make sure, like we did in the last collection actually, that some feather off to the left, some to the right, and some remain upright. Again, because it's just about those points of interest and creating something of a natural looking display. Although if it wants to stay there is another matter. There we are, back in place. So now to take the Pennisetum. So again, holding it up to the back of the vase to judge how much to trim away. We don't want this to overpower the other flowers that are to come, so we will trim this down significantly to ensure it sits relatively low to the other pieces that will be added in next. Although maybe not low enough to cut away those beautiful leaves. because these do again add support to other softer, longer stems, which you'll see in a moment when we add them. So we just dot these around for now. Nothing too onerous. And again, we're always working to build out that fan shape. So now to take the next heavyweight item for our grid, which is this beautiful Anouska Lily. This is a perfect example of what the lily will look like when it comes to you in the letterbox box. It is fully budded up. That's because they are so fresh when they come from the flower grower, and it will take a couple of days for this to open. They come with 4 layers of petals, and the petals develop a dusky pink hue on the outside of each one, so it almost looks pearlescent, like mother of pearl, and like the mother of pearl inlays that you often find in the traditional Chinese lacquered furniture, which again comes back to why we chose to use it in this collection. So trimming away on the angle as we always do. Because this is so top heavy with so many flower heads coming from the one shoot, it might be nice to just allow this a place where it can cascade over the top towards the front. And now to take our chrysanthemums, which again are very upright flower stems, we'll create a triangle between the lily and these 2 white stems, again so our magic formula is applied. And just gradually adding it into the grid. Can you see how that Pennisetum has worked its way around those couple of leaves left on the chrysanthemum to allow that chrysanthemum to almost float in the middle of the display? Pennisetum is really useful in floristry when you're looking to create a flower grid free from any artificial materials. So now we have a white distribution to come in the Anouska Lilies in the bottom right corner, with the chrysanthemum in white in the opposite direction to the left but at the back. And thinking about this magic of 3 and building a triangle, it might be nice to create a 3rd point at the very front of the vase where the flower heads sit very close to the opening. So therefore we're going to cut down very significantly and taking away any leaves which would fall under the watermark, although there won't be many, because with this one, using the grid to our advantage, we're going to position it on an angle so that the bottom of the stem will actually sit up the side of the vase. So if you just bear with me, it hopefully should make sense in a moment. There we are. Perfect. So now to add our final 3 stems, which are the Calla Lily, again in that maroony tone, which offers graduation from the mahogany accents. This beautiful peony, again to offer a real spread of delicate pink so often seen in Chinese and oriental art. And this anthurium in a similar tone. So again, just try and gain in your mind's eye an idea of where you want this to be before adding them into the vase. So actually, this Calla Lily would look really pretty at the back. Maybe next to the bamboo, just to break up some of that green colour so far. And with our peony, because of the flower head, it naturally wants to tip over. So if we use this again to its advantage, work with the features that it gives you, we'll trim away the stem till it's very short, because we'll add this at the front. Again, it doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom of the vase. And now we have a magenta splash at the front, as well as one towards the back, because it's all about that natural balance, as we always say. So as you can see, if we took the anthurium out of the vase, it actually wants to sweep off in that direction anyway. So if we just go with the flow of it, leave it to do what it wants, work to the advantage of what it wants to give. That then allows for that fan shape to be developed on this side, which offers balance in terms of what's now on the other side. And just to give it one final check, and I think we're thereabouts. So there you have it, the Lunar New Year medium letterbox flowers. So this is how the flowers will look a week or so after arranging them. We just thought to share this with you so you can see the full extent of the design and how beautiful it all looks when all of the flowers open together. There's such an array of different mahogany and blush pink tones that run throughout, so at least now you have a bit of a view in terms of a before and an after. The before being the bud stems that you're having to work with when you put the arrangement together to begin with, and how the design develops as time goes by. So that's everything from us this week in this tutorial. So I hope you have a lovely Lunar New Year, and we really can't wait to see you back here for February's Valentine's flower collection. Bye for now.